Today we're going to compare the Cybex E-Gazelle and the Uppababy Vista V3, two larger sized tandem capable models from premium manufacturers. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each model in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, before ending with a discussion of under what conditions and uses one might make a better purchase over the other. And beginning with the E-Gazelle, the model clocks in at 14.7 kilos and folds down to 56.5 by 36 by 77.5 centimeters, with one seat attached. It can take 22 kilos in each seat, 13.6 in the main lower shopping basket, and an additional 11.3 when using the removable upper basket. Looking at child comfort, the E-Gazelle uses Cybex's highly adjustable Lux seat design, with a nicely upright position and a newborn acceptable near-flat recline. Size-wise, the E-Gazelle's seat measures 28 centimeters in width and has a length for the sitting surface of 90, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, as well as a longer length of 116 when raising the canopy to its highest position and using the front frame mounted footrest with the seat in the lowest position. When it comes to other aspects of the seat, the textiles feel a little on the cheap side for the price in my opinion, but are at least durable and acceptably padded. The harness is easy to use and sports Cybex's one-pull tightening mechanism, and the canopy is extendable via both a sun flap and an extra section zipped in the back. There's a little ventilation built into the seat, provided via a mesh panel in the canopy, as well as an open hole above the backboard when the canopy is raised up, though I do wish there was a covering flap here for parents using the model in colder climates. For the newborn period, in addition to using the seats fully reclined, Cybex has a bassinet available for the E-Gazelle, as well as adapters that are compatible with a variety of car seats, and the model also has a rocking function as one of its powered features. Lastly, it's worth pointing out that in two-child mode, both seats are the same size and have the same weight capacity, and there are also a few more configurations that can be made with bassinets or car seats in terms of upper and lower positioning than you get with a lot of competing tandem strollers. Moving on to parent comfort, the E-Gazelle's handle is adjustable between 99 and 110 centimeters, while the storage basket is large and easy to access. The additional higher storage basket can occasionally be useful for shopping, though it does make the model front-heavy, and isn't a setup that one would want to use all the time in my opinion. When it comes to folding, the process is designed to be simple, though the force needed to slam the handle all the way home is too much for some people, and something worth testing out before buying. The E-Gazelle can be folded down as a single standing piece, with the seat facing either forwards or reversed, and can also be folded with two seats attached, provided that they're in the right facings. As far as how the model feels to use, the E-Gazelle has a solid, durable feel, but it's also quite rigid and heavy to push when the motor is not engaged, both due to the added weight of the motorized components, as well as in the way the motors inhibit the spin of the rear wheels, which to me means that the motor is not entirely an optional feature, and also something worth testing out before buying to make sure you're comfortable with the feel of using it. Wheel size is good on the E-Gazelle, 8 inches in the front and 10.6 in the back, but the rear suspension is pretty stiff and doesn't provide much shock absorption, meaning that even though the E-Gazelle can handle stuff like broken sidewalks, dirt roads, and gravel, it's apt to feel somewhat jittery if the going gets too rough. In addition, it's relatively long front to back, especially in tandem mode, which makes it heavy to steer, though the powered function does help a bit here, and is also quite nice when pushing the model up hills, as well as being useful for slowing your descent down hills if they're a bit too steep. Moving on, the Vista weighs in at a lighter 12.5 kilos in its single-child configuration, and folds down to a skinnier, though also wider and taller, 29 by 65 by 82 centimeters with the seat attached. It can take the same 22 kilos in its main seat and 13.6 kilos in its underslung storage basket. Looking at child comfort, the Vista has a bucket seat, meaning that the backboard is not adjustable in relation to the baseboard, though nonetheless also has a nicely upright setting, as well as a perfectly comfortable recline for children over 6 months. As far as the dimensions of the seat go, the Vista's main seat is significantly larger than the E-Gazelle's, with an inside width of 30 centimeters, a length for the sitting surface of 101, and also a total longer length of 129 when considering space under the canopy in its highest position and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest. When it comes to other aspects of the seat, the Vista's textiles are a bit more premium feeling than the E-Gazelle's in my opinion, have thicker padding, and the seat also has a liner covering a large mesh window that provides better ventilation. The Vista's harness doesn't have the same one-pull tightening, but it's still easy to use and has a nifty magnetic buckle. As far as the canopy goes, it can also be raised for extra headroom without exposing any large holes in the back, and is also extendable, providing good sun coverage, though I would note that the rearmost of two ventilation panels unfortunately lacks a covering flap. For the newborn period, the Vista is similarly compatible with a wide range of car seats, can use Uppababy's bassinet, and can also fit the infant snug seat, which makes the reclined position of the seat itself newborn acceptable. The Vista is of course also tandem capable, though unlike the E-Gazelle, the second seat is smaller and less weight capable, and the model also has fewer options when it comes to configurations including a seat plus a bassinet or car seat. Moving on to parent comfort, the Vista's handle has a slightly lower range of handle height, between 101 and 108 centimeters in height, while the storage basket is also quite large and even easier to access in my opinion in the way it extends off the rear frame. Though, that being said, there is a crossbar bisecting the basket to contend with, which isn't the case with the E-Gazelle. As far as folding is concerned, the process is a bit smoother with the Vista in my opinion, and the model is also a lot lighter to lift, though there's unfortunately no easily accessible crossbar or handle to lift the model with, as there is with the E-Gazelle. In addition, the Vista only folds down as a single piece with the seat facing forwards, not when reversed, though it can also fold down with two seats attached, provided that both are facing forwards. When it comes to how the Vista feels to use, the handle sits a tad looser than on the E-Gazelle, but otherwise, it's also quite sturdy feeling, with similarly solid connection points and good cross support. It has more or less identical wheel size, 11 inches in the back and 8 in the front, but its shock absorption is significantly more noticeable, making it more comfortable to use over rougher ground. It's also a tad long front to back, only slightly shorter than the E-Gazelle in this respect, but its lighter weight and wider wheelbase make it a lot more comfortable to steer in single-child mode. Though that being said, despite being lighter by a few kilos, it still feels like a bit of a tank in its tandem configuration, and is naturally particularly less comfortable to push up hills in comparison to the E-Gazelle when using its motorized feature. So which one of these should you get then? The Vista will be the better choice for most people, as far as I see it, being lighter, easier to steer, having better terrain capability, a larger, more premium feeling seat, and also clocking in at a lower price, $900 versus $1,100 currently. Though that being said, for a single, specific sort of use, the E-Gazelle does obviously provide an advantage through that powered assistance, where, if you're a little physically weaker, live somewhere smooth yet hilly, and won't need to fold and carry the model very often, it might be a lifesaver for getting around with two kids. Here I would like to additionally note though, that Uppababy's guarantee and track record with after-sales service is significantly better than Cybex's in my experience, and with the added possibility of electrical or motor issues with the E-Gazelle, it's also worth factoring in longevity risks when considering between these two models in my opinion. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.